Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about one of my favorite movies this year, The Ugly Stepsister. It premiered at Sundance, and the second the tickets went on sale, I placed the tickets in my cart, I hit checkout, and the website crashed. When it finally refreshed, my cart was empty and the tickets were sold out. You have no idea how badly I wanted to see this movie at Sundance because, wow, this movie is a trip. Set in a grimy 18th century fairy tale realm, this film flips the classic Cinderella tale on its head by centering the story on Elvira, a socially awkward and plain girl desperately trying to escape poverty and obscurity. If you liked last year's The Substance, then you'll likely enjoy this movie. Quick heads up, this review may contain the occasional minor spoiler, but if I do veer into spoiler territory, I'll make sure to give you another heads up. Elvira's mother, Rebekka, marries into a richer household only for the patriarch to die penniless. Suddenly, Elvira is pitted against the beautiful Agnes for attention, security, and the chance to marry Prince Julian. With what's left of the family fortune and empty promises, Rebekka commits Elvira to brutal cosmetic surgeries that crush her nose and stitch eyelashes onto her eyelids. Elvira descends into further body horror as she obsesses over the prince and tries to outcompete Agnes. I absolutely love this movie. For starters, I already love the tale of Cinderella. I think it's a beautiful tale of a girl who loses everything, yet her inner beauty and kindness shine and help her break free of the system she was forced into. I think it's a touching story about resilience, overcoming hardship, and showing kindness to others even when they don't show that kindness back to you. So off the bat, this movie had a solid foundation to build off of. The real kicker here, the real theme, is a critique of society's obsession with our outward appearance. It is genuinely madness what people do to make themselves feel better about their looks. Whether it's nose jobs, veneers, BBLs, chin lifts, facelifts, Botox, filler, hair transplants, leg lengthening surgery, and whatever else there is a huge and unhealthy obsession with looks. I love how the satire in this film is darkly comedic and grotesque because it forcibly points out that no matter how many changes you make to your outward appearance, if you don't change what's on the inside, then you will never be happy. Whatever you change on the outside will never be enough, and you will continue to obsess over it until it destroys you. I don't mean to be a cyberbully, but there is a point of diminishing returns with cosmetic work. You eventually cross a threshold where you start to look worse and objectively scary. We can look at a number of celebrities like Donatella Versace, Jocelyn Wildenstein, and Carrot Top as examples. Many of these celebrities had no issues with their looks, but their fear of aging and their obsession with looking young harmed their looks more than they helped. I don't mean to keep comparing this movie to The Substance, but just like it, the body horror and obsession with being beautiful really hammers home the theme that no good can come out of being obsessed with our appearances. This film isn't a horror movie in the typical sense, but it can keep you on the edge of your seat at times. There are scenes that might make you queasy, and there are definitely some scenes that you'll wince at. You are going to see some tight close-ups of body parts. And now that I'm thinking about it, you're gonna see a fair amount of nudity in this film too. Deadass, there is full nudity for both male and females. You're gonna see an eggplant, cherries, kitty, and a donut hole. For YouTube's sake, I'm trying to be careful with what I say, but hopefully that's a good enough warning for you. If you don't want to see any of that stuff, then skip this movie or at least keep that fast forward button on standby. In terms of casting, I was genuinely impressed. Lea Myren anchors this story with Elvira's fragile determination. Her performance is full of enthusiasm and at times can be heartbreaking. She is a crazed girl who backstabs and betrays Agnes so that she can get ahead of her. Her micro expressions through pain, desire, shame, and defiance help set the tone of this film wonderfully. There are times when you feel bad for her, there are times when you root for her, and there are times when you hate her. She is a severely flawed protagonist, and that's what makes her interesting. Thea Sophie Lockness as Agnes is the exact opposite of Elvira. She is beautiful, strong, and confident. I initially thought she was slightly cruel, but as the film progressed, it was clear that she was a victim. Like in the typical Cinderella stories, despite being admonished and pushed down by Elvira and Rebekka, when Elvira is at her lowest point, Agnes offers her kindness. This is something that Elvira would have never done for Agnes. Elvira betrays Agnes's secrets because of her shallow ego and need to see her suffer. For those reasons, I was constantly rooting for Agnes the more I saw of her. Anne Daltor plays Rebekka, and I thought she was fantastic. She was cynical and cruel and manipulated her daughter at the expense of her mental and physical health. Rebekka is a 304 and offers her body to men with money so that she can continue to live a lavish lifestyle. Her actions have an effect on Elvira and shape what Elvira values. This is sad because it's something that we see in real life today. Emotionally detached parents with bad habits tend to raise emotionally detached children with bad habits. Thankfully, Alma, Elvira's sister, doesn't fall into this BS. Alma doesn't put up with the nonsense, and I respect her for keeping her own peace and finding her own happiness. That's something I think more people should do. If you can see past the obsession, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The rest of the supporting cast is great. They're all largely pompous, rude, cruel, and cynical, just like Rebekka. I think what I really loved about the entire cast is that they all felt perfectly in place in this fairy tale world. The costume designer for this film did a wonderful job. I loved the intricate period garb. There were sumptuous yet suffocating corsets, wigs, and voluminous skirts. I love that the production was filmed on sight with a Polish castle and abbey. It created a tangible aesthetic and sense of wealth and nobility. I loved the intricate interiors like the prince's ballroom and even the beautifully furnished bedrooms of the family. Cinematographer Marcel Ziskind mixes gothic natural light and Eastern European fairy tale surrealism perfectly. I love the scenes of decay like rotting bodies, peeling wallpaper, and chalky makeup. It's the perfect contrast to the lavishness and beauty in the film. We get a wonderful mix of moody, cold blues and warm amber ballet scenes. This film looks and feels timeless. The final thing I want to mention is the soundtrack because honestly, I think it's flawless. This film had a lot of ethereal sounds that blended so perfectly with traditional strings. I'm not kidding, the music in this film elevates the fantasy vibe and makes things feel whimsical and romantic, just like a fairy tale. Whether it's a waltz or a ballet, there's a dreamy haziness to the score. Just as importantly, when the film needs to be serious, tragic, or haunting, the score is thematically resonant. You'll hold your breath and sit on the edge of your seat when you need to. A big part of the tension and squeamishness that I mentioned earlier is because of the sound design. Whether it's puking sounds, slimy maggots, buzzing flies, bone crunches, or rumbling stomachs, the sound design is great. When I saw this with my girlfriend, her stomach grumbled and we both looked at each other and laughed at the prospect of her having a tapeworm.
What does a tapeworm and the Eiffel Tower have in common? They're both parasites.
Jokes aside, my point is that the sound design is fantastically real. The Ugly Stepsister blew me away. It's a modern fairy tale adaptation, but in the best ways. It's bold, it's grotesque, it's hilarious, and it's tragic. It doesn't just flip Cinderella on its head, it rips the wig off and scathingly takes down beauty culture. Wrapped in haunting performances, gorgeous production, and unforgettable body horror, this movie is not for the faint of heart. For those willing to look past the gore and yuck and into the soul of the story, there's something really profound here. It reminded me that we live in a world where obsession can become a disease, where appearances are worshipped like religion, and where kindness often takes a backseat to ego. And yet, through all the blood, bile, and broken bones, the Ugly Stepsister still manages to be funny, poetic, and I would dare say beautiful. This is one of my favorite films of the year, hands down, and I can highly recommend it. Thank you for listening to my review of The Ugly Stepsister. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.